So King's going to ask some questions first, and then you guys can line up and ask questions here as well. We're going to try to answer as many as possible, but obviously, there's some, time, so we can't answer everybody's questions. We're going to do our best. So if you have a question about The Sims 3 for the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3, if you have a question about The Sims Medieval, or if you have a question about Late Night or Ambitions or one of those past ones, we can answer your questions. So King, let's start it out. Everybody, King Choi. Yeah, King Choi. That's really his name. How awesome is that?
Alrighty. So we collected questions from the community from worldwide, and the first question goes to Medieval from Ian from the UK. Is will you be able to throw tomatoes when people are in stocks?
Yes, we didn't show that today, but you can definitely throw stuff. You can throw tomatoes, and you can also throw eggs.
All right. Are there any audience members that also like to go up? And I see some hands that's being raised, but please go on up to the microphone.
Yeah, we have a mic here. So do we want to go ahead and have them ask questions?
I thought I saw a hand, but if not, I will move on to the next question.
Oh, wait, she has a question. Jacqueline?
Yeah.
Is it Jacqueline? Go up to Yeah, go to the mic right over there in the middle.
Great.
And you have to sing, too.
Will we be seeing any pets soon?
So we are only talking about the expansions we have now. We're talking about Late Night, Ambitions, and World Adventures.
Sorry,
it's okay. But we're not talking about any, potential future games at this time. Sorry.
Where's the singing? Come on, guys.
And Late Night, will it only be night all the time?
No. The Late Night is different from Nightlife in that Bridgeport is a real Sims living community. It's a living town. There's a day and night cycle. It's actually a new base community. It's not a place they travel to. We've done it so that your Sims can, if you've got a cool family in Sunset Valley that you like, you can move them to the library, move them to Bridgeport, and they'll be there. But Bridgeport is a living, breathing community. There is a daytime, for better or worse, but the night is there. We've done a lot of different things. There's all sorts of stuff running under the hood to make it a different city. You'll sort of feel it as you play it long term, but there is a day cycle and there is a night cycle.
Cool. I also want to chime in with another question. For console, why did you introduce karma powers into the game? And this is from Eden from Italy.
Yep. So we're always trying to figure out ways to make Sims players feel more powerful, like they have more control in the game. And we kept writing down different ideas, like, well, what if you could do this in the game, or what if you could do that in the game? And all of a sudden we had like a long list about 20 ideas deep of like things we just always wish we could do to our Sims or do with our Sims. And it was really that was all we really like the idea of messing with life and messing with the Sims and kind of like pushing their buttons a little bit. So that's what it's all about.
Cool. Another question. This is for Late Night from James from the US. Will children be able to play any of the instruments?
Off the top of my head, no. It's consistent with the base game in that once you're a teenager, you can play guitar and drums and bass. And children shouldn't be in clubs jamming anyways, although they can go. They can go, they just don't play instruments.
All right. Any other audience member have questions?
What? No, she got it. Go.
I'm already standing here at the mic, so. I have a question about Medieval. Will we be able to have our own dynasties, our own little princelings, to take over?
The way that we approach aging in Medieval is different from other Sims games. So while there are many ways for your Sims to meet an untimely end, Medieval isn't crafted around the idea of generational gameplay. It's crafted around the idea of replaying the game and picking a new ambition, going into your stories and playing them in different ways. So you can woo somebody, you can have woohoo, get married, have a baby, the baby turns into a child, but we don't have aging beyond that, and people don't end up aging and dying of old age and becoming old. So we focus on just this one life cycle and lots of stories as we build up the kingdom in this sort of snapshot in time in the life of the kingdom.
I have a question on Medieval. Is there going to be archers, like archery and dragon slaying and all that good stuff?
Archers are definitely something that we've talked about a lot. It's not in Medieval. However, there's an aspect that I didn't show off today where there are different places that you can go that we call the outskirts, where you can actually have your character leave. Like you saw the ship, there's also a village that they can go to and a forest lot. And when they're off there and you can't see what they're up to, you get reports back to them with these great pictures. So there'll definitely be interactions with dragons, and like your bard might lull a dragon with a song, and your knight might slay it, and your wizard might try to charm it. But you'll learn about those things from these alternate scenes that get reported back to you as your sim is off on adventures beyond the kingdom.
Thank you.
All right. Oop. I'm sorry, a little close there. On late night, will we be able to use our existing bars from our dining sets and practice a mixology skill on those bars?
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that the existing bars definitely worked. So we have two different bars. We have the bars from the base game and expansion packs and things like that. And you can do basic stuff on them, and you can also build up your mixology skill. That's a great way to get started. We then added, I think it's two. We added two new, we call them professional bars. And these are like the big full deal. They look big and gorgeous, and that's where you can do everything on them. So a lot of expansions, yeah, we hooked up and made sure that the stuff that's already there still works. It's great, but this is where the best stuff is.
So before we take another audience question, I'd like to give some more time for the questions that the community had asked also from online. And this is for the console. For the Sims 3 console versions, will we be seeing anything from this PC expansions, such as we have hot tubs that come from Late Night and the Inventor's Bench from Ambitions?
Yeah, the new things that we added to the console game are really they're really specific to those platforms. So what we wanted to do for each of the platforms, the HD games, the Wii, the NDS, is to make new experiences on those games that were sort of perfect for the platform. So we focused on stuff like Karma Powers and like the integrated exchange, just because we really felt like, with the exchange as an example, that if you're in your living room and you're kind of kicked back in front of the TV and you want to have a good time, it's kind of more fun to browse other people's content as opposed to maybe building your house bit by bit. So that was the way that we approached those games.
So another audience member question?
Yeah, for late night, are the children going to be born vampires, or are you going to turn them into vampires?
So vampirism is genetic. If a vampire mother and a vampire father woohoo for baby, and they succeed, try for baby, I know. I'm always thinking of woohoo, it's always on my mind. If they woohoo for baby,
you too?
Take that. It's 100% guaranteed that the child will be a vampire. If, let's say, the father's a vampire and the mother is a regular sim, i.e. one vampire, one normal sim, there's a 50-50 chance that it's a vampire. There's no half-breed vampires. They're always either a vampire or not. And of course, you as a vampire can turn anybody into the world into a vampire as long as their relationship is strong enough. And we even made sure that we protect those sims from any sort of story progression or anything going on. So you can literally make a town full of vampires. And they'll be running around in blurs, and they'll be burning during the day, and it's great.
What do they eat?
They eat plasma.
I mean, if the whole town is full of vampires.
Eat each other.
They
For late night, can you make like big skyscrapers and stuff, or is it still like the 6-story limit or something?
So we didn't change the build by technology to let you build up any more floors. You can use cheats, I believe, to go up higher and lower. We did in the catalog add all the shells and stuff that you can place yourself, and so you could take one of the skyscrapers that our modelers built, put it in, and then change what it looks like inside. You can yank out, like you could go to Sunset Valley, plop down a skyscraper in the middle, and have like Megacore, and they look down upon all the peasants below.
All right.
And then you can also take, just while we're on the topic of edit town, like you could put a bar in Sunset Valley, you could put a bar in Riverview. I mean, Riverview to me, it's sort of like a small town where I grew up. I'd put a, podunk, like honky tonk bar there, and it'd be great. So you can mix and match your towns just like you always could.